The Hobbit opened at the National Children's Theatre on the 16th of April, directed by award-winning South African director Alan Swerdlow. The play is based on a 2019 adaptation by Greg Banks for the Children's Theatre Company in Minneapolis, United States, and stars a versatile five-person cast of talented young actors. Led by Naledi award-winning actor Gamelihle Bovana, the show also presents opportunities where actors invite the audience into the story, creating a shared experience for all stakeholders involved. And this, they say, is where the magic happens. To tell us more, we're joined by the director, Alan Swerdlow, as well as Gamelihle Bovana, who plays the character of Biblo, Baggins, and Gareth Meijsen, who plays Gandalf. Very good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Karabo, by the way.
Karabo.
Oh, Karabo.
Karabo.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. My apologies. Thanks for that clarification.
No problem at all, but great to be here.
Yes.
I can't help notice and laugh at your outfits. Beautiful outfits, by the way.
My little legs.
I'm going to start with you, Leggy One.
Yes.
Just take us through your outfit and the kind of role that you play.
Yes. Okay. So I'm playing the role of Balin, which is one of the dwarves, kind of the right-hand man to Thorin Oakenshield, and we are on a quest to return to the mountain that was taken over by a dragon.
Yeah.
And because I'm a very tall guy, they had to make me these special legs just to make sure that I'm
sure it's not too much of a difference.
Yeah.
Right. Karabo, your role?
So I play majoritively Thorin Oakenshield, who is, I guess, the king, of the dwarves. And yeah, him and his dwarves, get along with Bilbo to get to the mountain and get back the treasure lost from them years ago.
Right, right.
So yeah, funnily enough, I am the king.
And he doesn't have
I am the
legs.
king, yes.
Oh, this is hilarious. Now, Ellen, just take us through the storyline. What was the aim of, having rewritten the adaptation of the American story?
Well, British story originally,
coming
out of Oxford, and J.R.R. Tolkien was actually born in Bloemfontein, by the way, which makes it pretty interesting, though he left the country at a very young age.
Yeah.
The story is one of the classics of children's literature, and it's about a quest, like all good children's stories are. They go on a journey, they have an aim, they have to achieve something, and you may be familiar with the Peter Jackson movie, which took three full-length films to tell the story. There was the prequel, in a way, to Lord of the Rings. And here we are in a theatre, and we've got 5 actors. We haven't got any CGI. Yeah. And we need a mountain-sized dragon. We need hill-sized trolls. We need 5 armies at one point. It's huge, and we do it with theatre magic.
Make it
That's the thing.
What's the story that's being told, though? I know that it might appeal to children, but to adults as well.
Absolutely, definitely, because it is such a well-loved story. Bilbo Baggins is a hobbit, and a hobbit is an unusual creature, smaller than a dwarf, but not that tiny. And Gandalf the wizard arrives one day and tells Bilbo, rips him out of his comfortable lifestyle and says, you've got to go on this quest, you've got to go and help the dwarves regain their home, in fact, which has been taken over by a dragon. But actually there are stories in there about how we relate to other people, about discrimination, one group against the other, how we learn to rely upon our inner strengths. It's a wonderful educative experience, but it is funny and exciting and all sorts of things happen along the way. I don't want to give away too many of the tricks, because you must come and see it.
Definitely. I definitely need to come and see how the king is faring in this play. Just how difficult was it just immersing yourself in this character, bearing in mind that you need to reduce yourself into the minds of kids so that they could appreciate you more?
Well, funnily enough, I'd say the production itself, it's put on for children, and it's for children, but it's not a children's play, I'd say. So it's the character itself, you have to delve into the depths of, I guess, creating a character and getting into it and being as immersed as you can, whether or not, it comes across in a way. We didn't want to downplay too much because, I mean, kids are so intelligent to pick up on all the nuances within the production. So it's just maintaining your same level of characterization and your same level as immersion, as well as allowing the audience to understand where you're coming from with the character as well.
I think, if I may add something.
Yeah, go ahead.
The cool thing about this production is we all play multiple characters because there's only 5 of us. And so we have to hop in and out at any moment, at a whim. And I think what you're saying is amazing, is kids are not stupid, they're really intelligent. So you don't have to downplay anything to them. And if you're not believable, they notice. They can see it immediately.
They'll be the first.
You really have to give
pick
yourself to the character. And if you're the king, you play the king. And if you're Gandalf, you play Gandalf. And if you're all of a sudden a goblin, you become the goblin.
Sure.
And your givingness to that is what sets the kids to believe you and to be captured by the world. It's not. It's left up to their imagination, yes, but it's also left up to your ability to make them believe you. Which is what we do as performers.
Tell me, guys. I mean, the fact that you are performing in theatre, you're performing in front of a live audience, so there's no second takes. There's no ouch, ish. Let's do that again. But how then do you judge or gauge the sense that the audience, in particular the kids, are appreciating the kind of work that you do?
The stillness. The quietness, the awe in their face.
It's that immersion, because I feel especially with children, when they do get like distracted or confused or something's not really gripping them, they'll move around and they'll find something to grab their attention. But when you have that moment of just stillness, like you said, and that moment of them being so immersed in the story, that's when you realize, like, I guess you have them.
And kids are not a patient lot, eh?
Not at all.
But
the fact that you're able to captivate their attention for a whole hour or two, then it speaks a lot about the kind of work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, it's very much it's a full-length play. And you know, people say children have short attention spans. Not true. If they're engaged, if they connect, they're with you all the way.
Absolutely.
And I watch these kids day in and day out as we do the performances. They're sitting there.
Wow.
I'm not quite sure who to support and who's the hero, and you know, cheering or not cheering.
Wow.
They're also trying to figure out how.
Tell me, like, how does this work? How does it? Do you have to kneel so that these can actually work?
No, I think it's kind of stylistic, and it's left up to artistic expression. So there's lots of little props, and we have like buckets and plastics that make things look like a mountain or a hill or a valley or a little ledge, and then I'll just put my legs and rest on it, or I'll rest on someone's shoulders or a table, and then there's lots of little funny moments that you can use that make it seem like I have
tiny legs.
Now, Ellen, since this is theatre, I mean, how are you able to capture the story in one setting, in one stage, without, of course, compromising, the actual storyline?
You harness the imagination of the audience. I mean, that's the best way. It's a multi-use set and design. The costumes that have been designed by Sarah Roberts. And the whole idea, it all takes place largely in what's called the desolation of Smaug. Smaug is the great dragon.
No spoilers.
And we have built a rubbish dump, basically. It's a huge rubbish dump, and from that rubbish dump, we retrieve all the items that they need to perform. If they need a little stool, it's there. If they need a chair, it's there. If they need a piece of cloth to suddenly become a hillside, it's there.
Exactly.
So it is right before your very eyes. We are creating this incredible journey, and we're using ordinary, everyday objects to do so.
Oh, yes.
So I think that is, and it excites the imagination of the viewers, and particularly the kids who go there. They're using a laundry basket. That's a chip fryer.
It's things they themselves would do. So
and speaking of which, I mean, what's the importance of exposing children to arts and theatre from a very early age?
If I may say, I mean, from a young age, I've known that storytelling is the most powerful medium in the world.
Absolutely.
Whoever dictates story dictates your behavior, your culture, and there's many themes in this story specifically that are very deep and important. You know, it's themes of redemption, it's themes of adventure, it's themes of learning about each other and community and letting go of things that you shouldn't be holding on to, and also grabbing on things that are important. And I think that's important for everyone to learn, and it's best to start from a young age.
And if I could add also, it's just, I think, I mean, also personally growing up and being passionate about the arts and passionate about creativity, it's a great way for self-expression for like a young mind and a young child to, I guess, articulate what they really can't in everyday life. So you have a medium where you can get across what you need to in a different way, I feel like.
All right, we're out of time, unfortunately, gentlemen. But just briefly, in 10 seconds, Alan, please share the details.
It is on at the National Children's Theatre, which is in Parktown in Johannesburg. We run until the 21st of May, 2023. And if anybody wants tickets or further information, they can go onto the website for the National Children's Theatre or give the office a call. They'll give them all the details. They can book online, all sorts of things like that.
Great stuff.
It's a great opportunity. This is the audience of the future.
Yes.
Lovely chatting to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you, kids.
You guys are doing the Lord's work, eh?
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Great stuff. Well, that was director Alan Swerdlow speaking to us about The Hobbit, which is currently running at the National Children's Theatre.